Hello everyone, my name is Joba Ojelabi, and these are the poems I love. First on the list is a recent poem I read from a friend. His name is Adebayo Lamikanra, friend and colleague, because apparently he's supposed to also be a pharmacist. But yes, he has this poem called The Poet, and I love that poem because having written poetry myself, it speaks to what you must be as a poet. And I think that the poet writes about everybody, but nobody really writes about the poet. So this poem does that. And that's why I love this poem. The poet. The poet must listen. Listen very hard to the faintest whispers of the wind. The poet must sleep with ears wide open to hear the faint message, traveling from a world of which the world knows very little, to bring a measure of comfort or a dash of merriment to the world in which we live and sometimes learn, of those things of value to those waiting for the hall of duty. In this valley of discomfiture, where we endure the passage of time, the poet must travel wide-eyed to see the faintest shadows, which are the signs of coming trials, with which we have to live, and give substance to cloudlets no larger than a human hand, but which grows to cover the sky, plunging the earth into deepest gloom. The poet must grow a thickness of skin to absorb the blows dispensed by the seen and unseen hands of the fates, the dutiful sisters forever spinning the thread which adorns the neck of every mortal, giving strength to some, those we think are the beloved of the gods, and pain to others without fault, who have merely been elected by the fates to carry burdens not adjusted to the frailties of the human frame. The poet must add power to the voice, giving it range to reach deep, deep enough to touch hearts and minds of those seeking a path through life's tortuous passage to the truth, which liberates and enriches the soul on its way to destinations unknown. The next poem I'm going to be reading, which I really love, is from Dami Ajayi's Affections and Other Accidents, which I really think is a great book. And the poem is titled How to Grieve in Time. And I love this poem because grief is one emotion that has been explored across literature. A lot of people have written about grief, either from a third point of view, from the first person experiencing grief in itself. But what this poem does, especially in the African context, where you're expected to process grief some kind of way, handle it, don't do this, don't cry out loud, or whatever it is. This poem simply tells us how to grieve in time. Or does it? How to grieve in time. There is no such thing as to grieve in time, for we cannot teach grief how to be brief. But time is balm. Its reassuring calm comes to those who put their memories out at night for the dew, those who honor their dead with worship, those who place them in the pantheon of their thoughts, those who invoke their dead, energize them with unrelenting memory, with sentient songs. Grief, the rocky route, becomes easier as time passes. And the third poem I'm going to be reading is one of my all-time favorites. It's from Angelou. It's a poem titled Caged Bird. I'm sure it's a lot of people should know the poem. Well, interestingly, a lot of people don't know the poem, but they know the book because she also has a book called I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. But this poem captures the essence of that saying by itself, because a lot of times for us as humans, there is a sense of longing that we can never really explain, that just feels intricate, that feels part of us. And I think this poem gives the ultimate metaphor in describing that emotion. And that's why I love this poem. Caged Bird. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays, and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with fearful thrill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn-bright lawn, and he names the sky his home. But the caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare screen. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful thrill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on a distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. Thank you.